Good afternoon to all of you, and welcome back to the live event every Saturday from Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, Ettimade, Coimbatore. Today is 27th June 2020. I'm back again with a different topic, which is absolutely good for both the parents and the children to be with me. Handling an angry child. I have been waiting for a few more to join me in this live event. But the programmers, every parent must know. Every parent must know what? How do I handle my angry child? What should I do and what should I not do? What should I do and what should I not do? So before I commence, it's got exactly 1400 hours, before I commence my talk on the most awaited topic, handling an angry child, let me once again wish you a very good afternoon, a very happy afternoon, and welcome you all for this live event, handling an angry child. This is Methil Krish reporting to you from Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, Ettimade, Coimbatore. There have been overwhelming response to the previous 3 episodes on various topics, and I'm indeed delighted and thankful to all of you for the appreciation that you had rendered to me for the last 3 episodes, which had come on 2 Saturdays, and the first one was on a Sunday. Now, coming to the topic anger. When I say anger, what happens when a child is angry? When the child is angry, the child, whether he is a teenager or whether he is 8 years or 10 years or little less than that, what the parents generally does is to also get angry with the child. So when the child is angry and the parents' response is getting angry again with the child, and the child again getting angry with the parents, so the anger from both sides escalates. It moves up. Then it ends in a very bad state of affairs. Very, very sad. Very, very sad state of affairs if both the child and the parents keep yelling at each other, shouting at each other. So what we do is to be more understanding the reasons as to why our child is angry. See, nobody gets angry just by that. Fraction of a second, just by that, just by this, with no reasons. Nobody gets angry. So I would suggest the anger from the parent, the anger from the children. So these are 2 concepts: anger with the parent, anger with the children. Now, when I look at the parent, why should they get angry with the child? They also get angry. It's not the children alone gets angry. When the parent gets angry with the child gets angry. When the child gets angry, the parent gets angry. So I suggest, and my recommendation, I would not show you any of my PowerPoints today, but I would like you to understand, why is the child angry, or why do you get angry? So why do you get angry with a child? When I ask you this question, how many of you know the reasons why do you get angry with your child? Good afternoon to all of you who have been wishing me. Good afternoon to all of you. Sharma ji is, right, all of you. Anil Pandey, Satish, Rama Subramaniam. Good afternoon to all of you, and welcome again for this most awaited afternoon on Every Parent Must Know. So I was just talking to the parents on as to why is that the parent gets angry with the child. The reason for the parent to get angry with the child is because of only one reason I've ever found. I've been doing a sort of a study, an analysis. Why is that parents get angry with the child? And the first reason I've ever found is the children don't listen to the parents. The children do not listen to the parents. Am I right? Daddy, mummy, papa, mummy. The children don't listen. And that is the main reason the parents get angry. But why does a child get angry? For two reasons. Maybe, or three, four reasons. I'm sorry, not two reasons. Maybe he's angry because of hunger, angry because of certain action by the parents, angry because he was not allowed to do certain things which he loved to do. So the reasons for anger between the parent and the child are totally different. Now let me talk about the anger from the parent's point of view. When the child doesn't listen, the parents get angry. Now, let me ask the parents one important question. Why is the child not listening to you? Why is that child really not listening to the parent? Whether it is a teenager, whether it is age between 5 and 10, whatever is the age factor, the question which I would like to raise to most of the parents who are attending my talk, why is that children don't listen to the parents? Now, I have done, I have in fact gone around to find out the reasons as to why your child is not listening to you. If the child listens to you, then there's no question of being angry at all. So when I went around looking for the reasons as to why the child is not listening to you, I found out something called a T factor. T is the letter T, table. So I found out 3 reasons for the children not listening to the parent on a T factor. When I say a T factor, the first T I would attribute to talent. Now, I want parents to listen to me very carefully. What I want to convey is, for example, your house is getting painted, and you, with your family, your spouse, your children, your parents, you keep talking about the type of color scheme that you need to put in different bedrooms. In between the discussion, like in your bedroom it must be blue, in your bedroom it should be yellow, in your bedroom it should be cream. When the discussions were going on, your servant maid who cleans your house comes and tells you, "Madam, in this room, please apply blue color. In this bedroom, apply cream color. In this bedroom, apply white color. Will you listen to the servant maid who gives you suggestions on the color scheme? How many of you will listen to the servant maid? How many of you will listen to the servant maid? If anybody would like to listen to the servant maid, I would like you to put yes. If you are not listening to the servant maid, put no. Let me see how many yes comes to me. I'm waiting for some yes or no. Again, my question for you to understand is, whenever you are, for example, you are planning to paint your interiors of your house, and the discussion is among your family members is, let's apply this color in this room, let's apply this color in this room, let's apply blue here, cream here, and in between, whenever the discussion is on, your servant maid, yeah, absolutely, I get some many no's. You know, the servant maid comes and says, hey, she suggests you some color scheme. I'm sure, like many of you said, no, you will not listen to the servant maid. And why are you not listening to the servant maid? What is the reason that the parents and the family members are not listening to the servant maid? Can I have the reasons? Why is that? Why is that you don't listen to the servant maid? Can I have those reasons? Why? Let me see one or two reasons. Yes? 1, 2, 3, 4 no's are there. But what is the reason? Tumbadas, Sharmaji, Sharmalaji, why did you say no? Any reason? Fine. You know, you see, she is not knowledgeable enough to give you any suggestion, because you find a servant maid in your house do not know anything about painting. They have no clue, in fact, because their status is low, their knowledge is poor, their understanding on colors is poor. So when you look at your servant maid, that she has a lower status and lower knowledge on recommending you for a particular color scheme, you don't listen to her. Listen to her. But when a painter or an architect, forget architect and forget painter, somebody who is knowledgeable like a painter or even an architect, let's take an architect itself. He has studied about the painting schemes and paint schemes and all those things. The light gets into this from east and west, so you put this colors, you know. So when an architect comes and tells you that you apply this particular cream color in your bedroom because the sun rises from east, sets in the west, so all those scientific advice to you, you listen to the architect, isn't it? Because you consider architect as a person who has certain knowledge on the painting. Yes or no? Yes or no? Isn't it? Absolutely. Absolutely, you listen to him. So why am I saying about an architect you listen, servant maid you don't listen? You know why? You know why? The reason for me to say so? All my parents must listen to me very carefully. For example, most of the parents who come here for my chat or for my talk would be in the range of 40 or 50, 40 to 50 or 30 to 40. Now, I want to ask those parents who are here with me a question, that when your mobile gets off, when your mobile is not working or the sound is changed or you're not able to correct the sound system of your mobile, you do not know how to set it right, what do? You will ask your son or daughter who is 8 to 10 years or even 8 to 12 years, let me know how you can correct this situation. You will give your mobile to your son who is 8 to maybe 12 or whatever is the age and say, tell your son, hi, baby, somehow I'm not finding my mobile working to my satisfaction. So please set this mobile right. And you know your son, who is 8 years old, knows most of those things to be done in the mobile. Because when you are at 8 years old, you didn't know there was a mobile. I mean, those time mobiles were not available. So you understand one fact, that when you are at 8 years and when your son is 8 years, the intelligence between the parent and the child, when parent was 8 years, mother was 8 years, and when the son is 8 years, it's totally a vast difference. My daughter, 8 years, far intelligent than me when I was 8 years. So your son takes the mobile, opens it out, does something, and he is able to correct the situation. What do you understand from this? What does the son think about you, parent? That my mother, my mama, doesn't know how to set the mobile. She is not talented enough to understand how the mobile can be corrected. So similarly, when you are not listening to the servant maid who was suggesting a color scheme, since your son knows that your mother is not talented enough to understand the setting of a mobile, when she tells you something, don't expect your son to listen to you. Because your son feels, mother, absolutely not talented. So what I suggest is, your son will listen to you and you don't get into any argument if you become talented. So when you become talented, your son listens to you. When son listens to you, there's no anger. That's number one. When I talk about talents. So the first key factor is, dear parents, learns everything, understand everything, equip yourself as a talented parent. Then you will find less of arguments and less of anger which will come to you and to your children. So first key factor is the talent. Occupy that talency in you so that when your child has a problem, you are able to solve it. The moment the child knows that my mama papa is not talented enough to rectify a small defect in a mobile phone, she or he will not listen to you. The moment they don't listen to you, you get angry. That's the first thing. The second T, which I have been analyzing, is the target. When I say the target, why do I say target? See, if you look at the past, a doctor's son wants to become a doctor, a lawyer's son wants to become a lawyer, an engineer's son wants to become an engineer, a businessman's son or daughter wants to do business. This was a few years back. You can see Amitabh Bachchan's son. You can see Rishi Kapoor's son. You can see KJ Jeshuda's son taking up dad's profession. But today, things have changed, parents, that nobody wants to follow their dad's or mom's profession. Today, an engineer's son wants to do a beautician. Today, a doctor's daughter wants to be a entrepreneur. A lawyer's son would like to become a scientist. So things are changing. Gone are those days where mama papa's profession is copied by the children. No, it doesn't happen now. It is not happening today. Mama papa's profession is not being copied today. So when a son wants to become a lawyer because his father is a lawyer, the son listens to the father. So, if I don't listen to my father, he will not tell me what the profession of a lawyer is. So the tendency of a child listening to mama, papa, for example, most of the moms want their children to learn cooking, so that when they settle a home for themselves, they cook for the family. But today, no daughter's son wants to be a cook. They would order something from outside. So when they don't want to be a cook, why should they go and spend time in the kitchen with their mom to learn cooking? So they don't listen. So when they don't listen, you get angry. Isn't it? That's normal. Don't get angry. Understand your child doesn't want to be in the same profession what you are into. Understand this. Don't get angry with them. That's what I repeat. A doctor's son probably would like to go as a hairstylist. He would like to open a salon to do a hairdressing. Why not? A politician's son would become a doctor. A doctor's son would become a politician. It's not like those times what I did, my son did. So I think the days are changing. So the first T is talent and the second T is target. If you understand this target of your son, right, and be more flexible to understand and then to move forward, you're a lucky parent. You will not get angry. And you get angry why I'm saying this. This is not normal anger management discussion. Like I've seen most of the parents pushing your child into the profession what you are. Don't do that. I always believe that a child must decide his or her on future. You be a guide factor. Don't force it on your child. The child will get angry. But understand the potential of your son and daughter and then suggest the career. Because I am a lawyer, my son must be a lawyer. No. And this anger starts here. The friction starts here. But guide them. Support them with information. If you don't support them with information, you are getting into trouble. So the first T is talent. The second T is the target. And the third T, which I would like you to understand, is technology. I've seen many parents. Let me ask you one thing. Remove the mobile from your children. No fight, no tension, no anger. Discontinue the internet. No problem. Nothing happens. You don't get angry at all. Nothing, no hassles at home. Today you get angry. Can you do that? You can do that. Today you get angry when your son is on WhatsApp or on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on some video games. Remove the video games. No angry. Things go smooth. Remove the laptop. Things go smooth. But you can't do that. The technology has advanced to such a level that you can't remove all this. It will be there. It has to be there. And nowadays, today, the last 3-4 months, where you ask your children to be away from mobiles, today you say, be there for the live classes, remote classes. So you can't remove the technology, the third factor. Why? Because I've seen many of the parents telling them, like when I was in, I used to walk to my school for 5 kilometers. When I used to be young, my parents gave me only 2 meals a day. When I was young, I was forced to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. When I was young, forget this, parents, children don't like to listen to this. They get angry by that. What are you? When you are young, so what? You expect your son to be like what you are young, what happened? I've seen many of you talking. When I was young. Come on, yeah, forget your youngness. I don't want you to be young with your children. Because the children get so fed up, parents, by listening to you are saying, when I was young. The moment you say I was young, they are with the technology. You can see the elder son looking at the younger sister and say, it's like a playing cassette. Don't say this. They'll get angry. So never say that when I was young, I went with half knickers. Or I wore chaddi and went to school. So what? Your father couldn't afford to. My dad or your father was not affording to buy a long pants for you. But don't expect your child to wear, chaddi and go to school. Maybe out of fashion they go, but we used to go with chaddis because of the need of the hour. No money with my dad and mom. So I think the moment you hear dad saying or mom saying, when I was 8 years, when I was 10 years, when I was 15 years, the children get angry. I'm sure if there are children here, yes, it is our family decision. I'm just seeing some chats. So the technology is so much advanced, you have to move towards the technology. Now, what happened to those parents who said don't use mobile? Who bought mobiles for them? It is us. When I buy a bike for my son and ask him not to use it, what is this here? Then he gets angry. So who created the anger? It's you, not the child. So I would say that the technology advancement, right, leave it to them. They need to understand to handle those apparatus, instruments, equipments. Let them learn. You learn and you also become talented. So don't object. The objection you will buy a fantastic, mobile for your son, and finally ask your son not to use the mobile. How is it? It is practically not possible. So what I'm trying to say, my dear parents, talent, be talented. Yes, be talented, so that your child respects you for the talent and listens to you. When he listens to you, you have no argument, you have no anger. Number one. Number two, target. Please understand. Don't force your child because one of the parent is an engineer, your son must become an engineer. That would lead to anger. You must understand the potential and competency of your child to recommend what it is. So that is number two. It's not like earlier times. I do business, my son does business. I act in film, my son acts in film. I am an architect, my daughter is an architect. No, it is not possible. Target. So target will lead you to, if you understand the targets, like earlier it was so, now it is not so. So unnecessarily pushing your child. The child wants to become a doctor, he becomes a lawyer, rest of his life, he's going to be angry with you. Can you avoid this anger? I'm not talking about the short-term micro temperament of your child. I'm talking to you on a long-term anger which can be subdued and packed well. All right? So don't mistake me for talking something different but relevant to anger. So second is the target. Third is the technology. How can we remove the technology? It is not possible, parents. We have to live with the technology and never say, when I was in, it irritates a child. That's up to you when you're in. So, target, technology, talent. These three things, please keep it in your mind. If you're able to tackle all these three T factors, the quantum or the amount of anger can be put under control from you to the child. So this is what I thought initially I will talk to you about. When I say this, it's very important factors that every parent must be talented enough in all activities of life. Every parent must be knowing the target of your child, not pushing the target which you fixed to your child. So the rest of the life of your child becomes a big question mark. No? Technology, yes, we have to go along with the technology. You buy them, the modern equipments, modern instruments, and then allow them to use, allow them to learn with certain restrictions. So certain restrictions, but don't restrict your son or daughter full. You buy him mobile, don't use mobile. No, sorry. So understanding this, by all this means, if you're able to correct it, your child will listen to you. But if the child listens to you, then there is no question of a parent getting angry with the child. Now, what do we do? What else we can do? One thing, let me tell you, parents, even if he doesn't listen to you, doesn't matter. Don't worry, my child doesn't listen to me, doesn't matter, forget it. But one thing, be careful. One thing, be doubly careful, that your child is watching you. Why am I saying this? When the child watches you, he learns or she learns from you. He doesn't listen to you, absolutely no issues. But when he doesn't listen to you, forget it. But when he watches you, be careful about what you're doing there at home and in your life. Why am I saying this? The anger can be reduced. The anger can be, for example, when I say, like for example, you tell your son, don't take Coke, don't take Pepsi. But you buy 2 liters of Pepsi and Coke, keep it inside the fridge and you drink. And you don't want your son to drink or daughter to drink. It can create a friction and an anger. That's why I said, the children is watching you. Children is surely watching you, and be careful about it. Number 2, when they watch you, they expect something from you. See, children don't get angry just because of no reasons. They get angry for something which you have done. For them, they feel it wrong. Maybe or may not be. How many of us, let me ask you a question, have listened to our parents? How many of us have gone through a situation where you don't appreciate your own kid? Appreciation would lead to an excellent, emotional, peaceful atmosphere. Now, I want to talk to the parents. When your child brings the report card after the quarterly or half-yearly, annual, whatever it is, what does the parent do? For example, your son is studying in 9th standard. He brings his annual report card, progress report card, and show it to mommy and says, "Mommy, this is my report." Now, your son is in mathematics 100 out of 100, social science 95 out of 100, social studies 98 out of 100, English 93 out of 100, and in Hindi language, this boy gets 72 out of 100. Now, my dear parents, your eyes will never go to those excellent, appreciable marks which your son has brought. 90s above. The mom or dad's eye will go to that mark of 72 for the second language. And the moment you see 72 out of 100, you yell at the son, "Whatever you're doing, were you not watching television the previous day to your examination? How many times did I tell you, switch off, you didn't bother to listen to me? And that's the reason that you scored 72 marks out of 100. Ridiculous. Next time when the exam starts, I will not even allow you to switch on the TV. Forget switching it on for half an hour to 45 minutes. Now let me ask you, the emotions that you create in the mind of a child by not appreciating would lead him to an anger. It would be an anger within himself, may not react. Some children react. You say, "Hey, mommy, what are you talking? Nonsense. Have you not seen my good score? About 19, most of the subjects except, okay, fine, whatever happened." He gets angry. Who created that? But if you appreciate the child and says, yes, appreciation is necessary. If you appreciate the child and say, "My dear son, excellent marks in all the 4 subjects. Yes, you need to do a sort of improvement in your language. I'm sure you'll do it. I'm sure you'll do it for the next coming examination. And your son will score well. Your son will score well, and he will be in a sort of emotional bonding with you. Look at my mother. If you don't behave this way, your child will be angry. He may not show it out. Again, I'm telling you, because he's frightened to the parents. But heart of heart, a feel would lead him to an aggression. So parents, learn to appreciate. Appreciation must be done on various improvements so that the child does better. The more you horn him up, the more you beat him up, more you yell at him, struggle him down, he gets into that commotional, angry mode. Appreciate. The other point which I would like to listen, which parents must listen to me, listen to your child. You know, the child grows with anger. I want to give you a small example. See, when there is a child, let's talk about a child 3 years old, or 3 years young rather. A 3 years young child comes to dad and say, Papa, I have learned one new action. Papa is busy with the phone. Papa is very busy in the phone. Again, this little child says, Papa, I have learned a new action. Look at me, but the papa is still busy. Then you know the child what he does. Hey, Papa, come on. Pulls the daddy down and says, Daddy, listen to me now. Listen to me now. The daddy is forced to listen. And when the daddy is forced to listen, the daddy says to the little child, tell me what is the new action? You know what is the new action? Tom, 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 tom. He does like this. Papa gets so angry with the 3-year-old kid, saying, is this what you learned new? Come on, don't waste my time, he yells at the child. Let me tell you, for a dad, this action will be nothing. But for a child, something like this is new and he wants his father to see. But if the father is treated and say, hey, don't waste my time, this child grows with that anger in his mind. And when this child goes to the 12th standard, after the examination, CBSE or matriculation or state board examination, when Papa goes to the school to pick him up after the examination, the son gets into the same son whom the father ignored when he was 3-year-old kid. The moment this child gets onto the car, Papa is asking him, how was the exam? This son says, Dad, switch on the music, please. The dad says, hey, I'm asking you something seriously. You're saying switch on the music. What are you saying? Dad, you just switch on the music. Don't waste your time asking you what happened for the examination. His behavior is something like this because from 3 years to 16 years, 12 to 13 years, this guy, little boy, grows with that vengeance and anger in himself. So when this boy was ignored when he was 3 years, when he goes to 16 years, he ignores the dad and the dad gets angry. Look at this. My subject today is anger. You can avoid this. Give your ears to your little son, man. So what? In fact, if I was the dad, I would ask my son, hey, come on, do it again now. How did you learn? Who taught you this? Lovely. Fantastic. Oh, come on, great. Clap for him. That is what is something you can avoid. That vengeance in the mind of a child with the anger vengeance. And then avoid those hit back system when this child grows up. So these are the basics which I thought I must touch up on to avoiding of an anger when this avoiding anger is more important than controlling or managing an anger, isn't it? Prevention is better than cure. Now, I want to say that you feel as a parent, that how do you make your son happy or daughter happy? Now, most of us, we spend time with the children. Some parents take the children for movies, of course, not now. Some take them for melas, exhibitions, circus, restaurants, a long drive, picnics. And you think your son is happy or your daughter is happy because you took him for a long drive, or you went for a long drive, or you went to a resort. You spent about 3-4 days there. You think your child is happy? No. See, I'm giving you some tips where you can make your child happy. Happiness, contentment, satisfaction is beyond that. If you're able to make your son contented and happy, he will never get angry. So there's no question of anger management here. Now, when I say that you spend your long hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours a day with your son, you think your son is happy or daughter is happy? I'm saying no, this is not the way to make your son or daughter happy. Now you're questioning me, Krish, how do I make my son and daughter happy? Simple. Follow this. Follow this small advice to each of you who is listening to me now. You know what is the suggestion which I can give you? Just 30 minutes. 30 minutes out of 24 hours. You do what your children want you to do. If your son wants you to play cricket, play that half an hour. If your son wants you to play chess, yes, play with them for about half an hour. That 30 minutes of doing what, if your little son, 3 years, 2 years, want you to keep jumping for half an hour, keep jumping for half an hour. He likes, he enjoys, he smiles, he giggles. Oh, my papa, mama did what I wanted to do. 30 minutes, 20 minutes is also okay. Parents understand by taking them to picnics or taking them to excursions, taking them to putting them into one of the best schools. Don't think that your child is happy. Child will be happy when you do what they want or what they like you to do. If your son feels, my mama must sing for me, sing. Even if you're not a singer, please sing. I think this is something which I have learned. If you are able to make your child happy 30 minutes and do whatever they ask you to do for those 30 minutes, the rest of the 23 minutes and 30 minutes, 23 and a half hour, they will listen to you. They will do what you want to do. When they do what you want them to do, parents, no question of getting into arguments. Mine is not managing anger. My job is to teach you how not to get into those anger mode. Why treat a patient when he or she becomes a patient? See that he is not a patient. So please understand one very important thing. Do for about 30 minutes what your child would like you to do and not what you like them to do. That is most important. I think I'm making it clear to you. That is number 2 or 3, which I'm sure each of you would have taken a note of that. Now, from the children's side, this is from the parent's side. Now, when the child gets angry, this is how you can avoid the children getting angry, or how can you be flexible from the parent's point of view. Now, I'm talking to you from the children's point of view. Again, chota, small children, teens, whatever it is. So when the child gets angry, the first advice to each of the parents is move out of the situation. Avoid that argument. Get out of the situation. Tell your son, look, son, I have a very important business call to make. Go away from there. It is your son, daughter. Don't stand there and argue with him. And the question is, dad would have won the argument, but your son would have lost peace of mind. So, the moment your child is in an angry mood, get out of the situation. Exit from the situation. Tell him, my dear son, I have something to do. Or I have some, stomach upset. Give me some 5 to 10 minutes, I'll come back. Please do that. Don't stand there and, both of you keep fighting with each other at anger. So the moment you go out, the child is waiting for you. Or the child comes to you after that. Daddy is not seen. Did he escape? And when daddy is not seen back, the child comes directly running to the daddy. Says, Papa, you are supposed to come back within 5 to 10 minutes. You haven't done that. What says? When he comes, the second advice I would give is just hug him. Doesn't matter, your son, your daughter. Just hug him. Just hug him well. See, whenever you hug him, just touch his backbone. It is scientifically proved that whenever you touch the backbone, there is a sort of easiness in the human being. So when you rub that backbone with your hug, the degree of anger, whatever he had, comes back. Even your hug will probably make him happy. But when you rub him on the spinal cord, the quantum of anger comes down, my dear parents. Try this trick. Try this trick, which is very, very important. When you hug the child, touching the spinal cord, just rub it down, the anger mellows down. And the third suggestion would be, try and avoid that discussion unless he brings it in. When you become friendly, you don't start off with the same discussion. Just move off. Move off in the sense, talk to your child about some other topics, not those subjects which led you to an argument. That would be my third suggestion. The fourth suggestion, if your child is almost hot-tempered child, please put him into some meditation, some yoga therapy. If he's a real hot-tempered in the sense for anything and everything, some children keep shouting and yelling. Some sort of yoga, some sort of meditation, some sort of physical exercises, some sort of team building games. Right? These are the things which will help your son to mellow down the anger, the hot temperament. The fifth point is, teach your son to count rivers. This is a proven psychological technology to manage the anger. If he gets angry, you tell your son before, or daughter, when I ask you to count 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 96, 95, 94. But when your son is angry, chota angry, micro anger, ask him to count from 10 to 1. But the anger is more, 20 to 1. But anger is more and more and more, 30 to 1. Just ask him to count. He'll count. The moment he counts, you also count. So your anger is also down. So if you have to manage anger, I think the reverse counting will help your child. So my talk today was managing anger now for the parents to understand the reasons for the anger. And once you know the reasons for the anger, equip yourself well so that your child doesn't get angry. So the question of anger management doesn't arise. So I mentioned to you about the T factor: talent, target, and technology. From this point of view, when I come to the short-tempered or hot-tempered, angry children, best is don't give them any emotional, physical punishment, please. Dad and mom, please listen to me. A physical punishment is beating them up, pushing them. No. Emotional punishment is you tell your child. Some parents I've seen, who the hell gave you birth, man? Why did I give birth to you? These are emotional. Don't ever use this. I will put you to the hostel next year. This is an emotional challenge with your child. The more you put your child into emotional anger, he lives with that. Try and avoid those emotional as well as physical anger, because this is not going to help you at all. So I would repeat what I said. If the child is angry, try to get away from there. Tell him that you'll be back within 5 to 10 minutes. If you go back, just hug your son or daughter. Push your fingers through the spinal cord, which is scientifically proved that more you rub the spinal cord of your child, the anger moves down. Proven method. And if you are able to give some yoga therapy or meditation for your child, that would be a fantastic suggestion. Put them into it. This is otherwise good to be healthy. And the fourth thing which I mentioned is don't use any emotional or physical punishment for your child. Please never do that. And that is very hurting. And the anger is suppressed in oneself. It'll just blow out one day or the other. And every cause is not the child, every cause is the parent. Because a child never gets angry without a reason. I'm not saying let your child off, I'm not saying that, but I still repeat what I mentioned. Control, because anger is by itself a secondary emotion. Right? The child is watching. Doesn't matter, it doesn't listen to you, but the child is watching you. If you smoke, your child will smoke. If you drink, your child will drink. And when you smoke and drink in front of your child, what's the use of getting angry if your child smokes or child drinks? So you are a role model to your children. The anger can be avoided by avoiding such unwanted habits of the parents. Never, between the parents, Mama, Papa, don't ever fight in front of the children. Dad must never show the anger on the mother. Mother should never show anger. You should never fight in front of your children. Please don't. These are all the ways to avoid the anger. So thank you so much. You can always get back to me with any queries. I have always given you my number. I can repeat my number. WhatsApp number 96. There are many who have come to me with clarifications. 9677507390. 9677507390. Why am I giving this? I'll just type out my number here. 9677507390. This is my number, 9677. Now, why am I giving you my number is, why am I giving you this number is for a simple reason. That a parent who is sending me a good question, number of questions, I will pick up the best question. And That parent who sends me the best question, I will choose which is the best question, will be brought on live if he or she is willing or both the parents are willing on a counseling note live in the coming weeks. So this is what I'm saying. Please post your questions or clarifications in my WhatsApp number, which I mentioned to you now. And the best question, the parents will come on live and I'll be there one-on-one with you, clarifying most of your doubts regarding parenting. And this will benefit not just for you, but for the entire other parents who are going to attend my session. So please, till we meet again. I'm sorry, I've got some. Yes, I'll just read out. I'm sorry. Sir, I get angry because my mother do not tell me stories. That time my mother say funny things and laugh. Fantastic. And that's what I said. To make your son and daughter happy, to the parents, do what they want you to do. They will never be angry with you, parents. Children are so lovely, children. I think let's bless all of our children the very best in their life. By this, my mother makes me laugh from anger. Very good, correct. Come on, children. If children, I'm very happy. If the children are, sir, I've got 3 minutes more. Venu Gopal says, sir, let me tell you, in the last 11 years with Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, I'm again thankful to Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, right? Because I was able to look myself younger and then interact with lovely children like you. You know, let me tell you, it's not out of place to say that in the 11 or 12 years of my association with Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, I have become younger because I go with young people like you. I'm so happy. I have maintained my ways as a parent to my own children. So parents, these are lovely kids. They're highly lovable. Let's not be angry with them. And if at all you're angry with your child, the fault doesn't lie with our children. The fault lies with us. So please post your question on my number, whichever number I have given to you on WhatsApp. The best question, the parents, you can both the dad and mom at your convenience, can come on live, shoot questions of your choice. You can speak in Hindi, you can speak in Kannada, you can speak in Telugu, you can speak in Tamil, you can speak in Malayalam, doesn't matter. I may be able to answer, may not be to the extent what you expect me to answer, but I can certainly answer in all those languages which I mentioned. And you will come on live with me, and I want other parents to learn through our one-on-one chat. And the best question will receive a special gift from our end. It's almost striking 3. It's almost striking 3. So thank you very much once again for making Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham India's 4th best university. My special thanks to all my students who are studying currently with us, all my alumni who are passed out from our schools of various schools, all the parents, all my friends and well-wishers, the faculties, the management, and of course, Amma, our Chancellor, Madhav, my Devi. So till we meet again, this is Methil Krish signing off from Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, Ettimade, Coimbatore. Children, stay safe, be safe, think safe, do safe, act safe. Till we meet again, Jai Hind, Namaste.